Gino, a balding man in his mid-40s with a penchant for Hawaiian shirts, lived a modest life in suburban Detroit. He worked as an engineer at a local automotive company, and his life was a predictable routine of work, home, and occasional visits to his favorite diner. His coworkers and friends described him as a bit quirky, sometimes creepy, but ultimately harmless. On the other side of the globe, Jasmine, a vibrant and fiery Latina from Panama, lived a life full of passion and ambition. She was in her early 30s, with long, flowing dark hair and a radiant smile that could light up any room. Jasmine worked as a teacher, and her dream was to one day open her own school. Her friends saw her as a strong, independent woman who knew what she wanted in life. Their worlds collided on an international dating site. Gino, tired of the dating scene in Detroit, decided to expand his horizons. Jasmine, looking for something more than what her local dating pool offered, was intrigued by the idea of meeting someone from another country. Their first interactions were awkward but filled with curiosity. Gino was captivated by Jasmine's beauty and vivacity, while Jasmine found Gino's nerdy demeanor endearing, albeit a bit odd. The courtship. As weeks turned into months, their online relationship blossomed. Gino would spend hours chatting with Jasmine, sending her gifts, and even money to help with her expenses. He was infatuated with her, and she appreciated the attention and support. However, Jasmine's friends were skeptical of Gino's intentions, warning her about the dangers of online relationships, especially those involving money. Despite the warnings, Jasmine felt a connection with Gino that she couldn't ignore. He promised to take care of her, to provide her with a better life in America. To Jasmine, this was an opportunity to achieve her dreams, and she decided to take a leap of faith. Gino planned a trip to Panama to meet Jasmine in person. He was both excited and nervous, unsure of how their virtual chemistry would translate into real life. Jasmine, too, was anxious, but hopeful that Gino would be the man who could change her life for the better. The first meeting. Gino's arrival in Panama was a whirlwind of emotions. The moment he saw Jasmine at the airport, his heart skipped a beat. She was even more stunning in person. Jasmine, on the other hand, was taken aback by Gino's appearance. His Hawaiian shirt and khaki shorts were a stark contrast to the sleek and stylish men she was used to. However, she decided to give him a chance, hoping that his personality would make up for his odd fashion sense. Their first few days together were a mix of excitement and awkwardness. Gino showered Jasmine with gifts and compliments, often to the point of discomfort. He seemed overly eager to please her, constantly seeking her approval. Jasmine tried to overlook these quirks, focusing instead on the positives. Gino was kind, generous, and genuinely seemed to care about her. As they spent more time together, Gino's behavior began to raise red flags. He was possessive, always wanting to know where Jasmine was and who she was with. He would get upset if she didn't respond to his messages immediately, often accusing her of being unfaithful. Jasmine started to feel suffocated, but she reminded herself of Gino's promises and the better life he offered. The proposal. Despite the growing unease, Gino proposed to Jasmine in a grand gesture. He took her to a luxurious resort and, after a romantic dinner, got down on one knee and presented her with a sparkling diamond ring. Jasmine was overwhelmed with emotions. She cared for Gino, but his controlling behavior worried her. However, the thought of a new life in America and the opportunities it held was too tempting to resist. She said yes. Gino was ecstatic, but his possessiveness only grew stronger. He insisted on knowing every detail of Jasmine's life, from her daily schedule to her interactions with friends and family. He started sending her more money, not just for her expenses, but to ensure she wouldn't have to work and could focus entirely on their relationship. Jasmine's friends and family were concerned. They saw the changes in her and warned her about Gino's controlling nature. But Jasmine, determined to make the relationship work, ignored their concerns and focused on the future. She started the process of applying for a K-1 visa, which would allow her to move to the United States and marry Gino. The move. The visa process was lengthy and stressful. Gino became even more anxious, constantly worrying about whether Jasmine would change her mind. He began to exert more control over her, monitoring her spending and questioning her every move. Jasmine felt trapped, but she was already too deep into the process to back out. Finally, the day arrived for Jasmine to move to America. Gino flew to Panama to accompany her on the journey back. The plane ride was a mix of excitement and tension. Gino couldn't stop talking about their future together, while Jasmine silently pondered whether she was making the right decision. Upon arriving in Detroit, Jasmine was struck by the stark contrast to her vibrant home in Panama. The cold weather, the unfamiliar surroundings, and the absence of her loved ones made her feel isolated. Gino tried his best to make her feel at home, but his controlling behavior only added to her sense of loneliness. Life in America. Living with Gino was a challenge for Jasmine. His need for control extended to every aspect of their lives. He dictated what she wore, who she could talk to, and how she spent her time. Jasmine felt like a prisoner in her own home. Gino's financial support, which once felt like a blessing, now felt like a chain that bound her to him. Jasmine tried to make the best of her situation. She enrolled in English classes and started to look for job opportunities, hoping to regain some independence. However, Gino was not supportive. He wanted her to stay home, convinced that her interactions with others would lead to infidelity. The tension between them grew, and their arguments became more frequent. Jasmine felt her dreams slipping away, replaced by a life of control and manipulation. She confided in her new friends, who encouraged her to stand up to Gino and assert her independence. The breaking point. One night, after a particularly heated argument, Jasmine reached her breaking point. Gino had accused her of cheating once again, and she couldn't take it anymore. She packed a bag and left, seeking refuge with a friend. Gino was devastated and tried to contact her repeatedly, but Jasmine refused to respond. With the support of her friends, Jasmine found the strength to move on. She found a job and started building a new life for herself. The process was not easy, and there were moments of doubt and fear, but Jasmine was determined to reclaim her independence and pursue her dreams. Gino, on the other hand, struggled to cope with Jasmine's departure. His obsessive behavior escalated, and he tried to win her back with more money and promises. However, Jasmine was resolute in her decision. She knew that a life with Gino would only lead to more control and unhappiness. A new beginning. As time passed, Jasmine began to thrive in her new life. She made new friends, advanced in her career, and even started dating again. She felt a sense of freedom and empowerment that she hadn't felt in a long time. Her experience with Gino taught her valuable lessons about self-worth and the importance of independence. Gino, too, had to come to terms with his behavior. He sought therapy to address his controlling tendencies and started to work on himself. It was a difficult journey, but he knew it was necessary if he ever hoped to have a healthy relationship in the future. Lessons learned. Jasmine's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of control and manipulation in relationships. It highlights the importance of self-respect, independence, and the courage to walk away from toxic situations. While Gino's intentions may have been rooted in love, his behavior was damaging and ultimately pushed Jasmine away. For those who find themselves in similar situations, it's crucial to recognize the signs of control and seek support. Whether it's through friends, family, or professional help, there are resources available to help individuals regain their independence and build healthier relationships. Moving forward. Both Jasmine and Gino moved forward with their lives, carrying the lessons they learned from their tumultuous relationship. Jasmine continued to pursue her dreams and live life on her terms. She found happiness and fulfillment in her independence and the new opportunities that came her way. Gino, too, made progress in his journey towards self-improvement. He learned to let go of his need for control and to trust in the people he cared about. He realized that true love cannot be bought or controlled, but must be nurtured with respect and trust. Their story, while filled with challenges and heartache, ultimately led to personal growth and a deeper understanding of what it means to love and be loved. For Jasmine, it was a journey towards empowerment and self-discovery. For Gino, it was a path to self-awareness and redemption. The aftermath. In the years following their breakup, Jasmine and Gino's lives took different paths but remained intertwined by the lessons they learned from each other. Jasmine became an advocate for women's rights and started a support group for immigrant women facing similar challenges. She used her experience to help others navigate the complexities of cross-cultural relationships and the importance of maintaining one's identity and independence.